Hello everybody, hope you are all well. So do give me a thumbs up, do pop me a note in the comments so I know you were present with me, and have a look at tonight's project. Tonight's project is this bead embroidery piece. You're going to use a little bit of your imagination with this as well, so that perhaps you can decide what to use it for. Maybe a ring, maybe a bracelet, maybe stud earrings, dangle earrings. So once you've made them, I'd love you to post them in our Beaders of Beads by Virtue. So I've got my size 10 beading needle. I'm using Mayuki thread tonight, and if you've got wax, always a good idea to wax because it helps to stop fraying and it helps to keep your needle threaded as well. So that's my tail. This is the end. So the end, got a tail there, wrap it round however many times, pop your fingers on it and then drag it all the way down. Oh, bingo, we have a knot. These are these little things which I've got in the Facebook group. They're actually acrylic, but they are so lovely. They're quite deep. They've got 4 holes in them and I've got various colours available. That's what I've used for this one. You could also use something like this one as well, again available in the group. It's got holes either side, but tonight I am going to be using one of these sew-on crystals, and these other things I'm using are these sew-on crystal rhinestones, also called montees. So you pull that through until the needle stops, or the knot stops I should say, and lay that across. Take a nosedive down, try and get it straight if you can, and then just back stitch into that area. So we're going to step up into the second hole, push your needle through the top hole this time, like so. Right, let's just trim off around those corners. What we're going to do is we're going to stitch on each of these crystal rondelles. So we'll start just at the side there, and these crystal rondelles have got holes in them. I'm going to actually do them on the diagonal. So we're going to take a nosedive down, and then if you can, turn it over and back stitch. So back stitch means you're just going back through the area that you've just stitched. So there we go, we've got our first one on, and then I'm going to add the next one on. And obviously you need to make sure it's round the right way. Take a nosedive down. Now, one of the difficult things with this is that because it's got prongs on it, sometimes your thread gets stuck around the prongs and it's a right pain. So it's just to be mindful of it. Let's add another one. So as you can see, I'm just adding it on the diagonal. You add it at whatever angle you're comfortable with. Turn that over so that you've got the diamante facing you. But let me know, has anybody worked at all with these sew-on beads? Now, we've done some projects before with the main one that we've got, the one in the middle. Oh no, that's got not stuck round, I thought it had. We've done rings with it before. So we're just back stitching into the previous hole. There we are. Do pop a note in the comments. Give me your ideas. What would you use your components for? Would you make a number and join them for a bracelet or a necklace? Would you... This would make quite a nice blingy ring, wouldn't it? And I think that we should have just the right space for the two. And then what you can do, if you're able, is to pop your needle so that it goes all the way round through the holes of those crystals you've just stitched on. That just helps to secure it in place and helps to make them sit more evenly. Now, I think what we've established from this is you've got far less gaps with the ovals. So if we just compare the two, it's quite different looks, isn't there? The ovals just perhaps flows a little bit better, but the technique is absolutely the same. And I just wanted to give you an idea as to how the things looked. There we go. That is that one done. So what we need to do now is to cut out the foundation. So I always like to go on the back and cut on the back so that I don't snip into any of those stitches. I'm not going to cut off too much of the foundation because I'm going to show you a little bit of brick stitch, which is what I've done on this one, and also use that opportunity to stitch on the back so there's no gluing as well. Right, I am going to cut out, I'm keeping my thread at the front. I'm just going to cut a piece of this out roughly, pop that to one side, and then I'm just going to snip around the shape of the foundation. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing because of the colour. So I'm going to stitch that on down the back and just do a small stitch up towards the edge, and then we're going to add 2 seed beads, and those 2 seed beads we're going to rest around the side and take a nosedive through your foundation and through the back. And then we're going to bring our needle under and up. Right, so it's the start one that you add 2 beads, then after that you add singles. So lay that across, go down your foundation and the back, and then bring your needle under and up, and it's really super neat at the back. So do the same again. I'm just eyeballing the distance of the seed bead. I just think the brick stitch around the side adds a much neater element. I really wouldn't use white, I don't think, around this, but at least it gives you an idea. So that's under and up. So I'm going about a seed bead distance down, pushing that through to the back, and go under the bead and up. Right, so the last one, and then we're just going to hook down on that bead, go back up through the previous one, just going to stitch that into the next one just to line them up a little bit. Right, so there you go. That is the cabochon finish. Let's take a look at the back. So you can see obviously where the piercings have gone in the fabric, but there's no, you can't see any of the stitches in that, and that would be quite a pretty bracelet. And we're stitching this on. So you've got holes at the side. And then we're going to go back through the original hole and push our needle through. And then, if you can, try and get your needle to revisit all of those little crystals that you've just added. And don't forget, in our beaders of Beads by Virtue, we have prizes every month and giveaways. Well, one person has a giveaway. I think we're back at the start there. And then we'll take a quick look. How would you attach it to a velvet choker? Okay, how would I attach it? Personally, what I would do on there is I would go on, take that with me to my local haberdashery or shop that we've got in Royal Wootton Bassett, and I'd go and get a piece of velvet that is sort of around that width if I can. And I would stitch the backing on. The back, stitch a row of seed beads from one end to the other. Let me show you what I mean. Imagine that you've trimmed this out, you've done your backing. What I would do is I would bring my needle to the back, so you'd have, so that would be on the back, and then I would pop on a row of seed beads so that your velvet ribbon can go through it, and you want it quite taut as well. So I would then take a nosedive down the back. Right, so if you imagine, I would have that so that you can slide something underneath, and that would slide on and off. That's just the first thing that comes to my mind, is to actually do the attachment that way. And so we've done a couple of projects, haven't we, tonight? And it gives you some food for thought. So that was our original piece for showing you, and that was our second piece, and our first piece that's partially completed, because I started looking at how we could actually do a bracelet, etc., is this one. I'll probably take that off now, but we could make it as a stud earring. Again, you could pop a velvet choker, pop that onto a velvet choker. You could have a thinner ribbon on there, and then you could make matching earrings. So they're fairly easy projects and fairly quick as they go as well. So that is our bigger one. I think that's my favourite. I think that's it for now. So I will see you all very soon. Take care. Bye.